Colorado's Director of Leadership and Engagement, George Hageman, he was kind of asked about Phil Loadholt's, him kind of paving the way for offensive tackles getting paid in the NFL. I described that, Phil's impact, of getting paid at the right tackle position in the NFL and kind of how he can relate with these kids, him kind of, coming from Colorado, being a Colorado product coming up through to get paid in the NFL.
Well, look, he's from down in Fort Carson. He did a great job down there, went to Oklahoma, and played right tackle for Minnesota and got paid. Mm-hmm. And usually the right tackle is a draftable position, and then if you can't play left, you kind of move to guard or play right tackle for a while, and then, jump around to different teams and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But he did get paid at right tackle, and it's kind of set the tone with the NFL that they're paying both tackles now. If you don't have two tackles in the NFL, you're screwed. Back in the day, it was left tackle and four other guys. And if you had two tackles, then God bless you. But, usually it was protect the quarterback's backside with your left tackle, the best player on the field, on the offensive line, and then see what else you got. A lot of times the guards will be playing tackle and shit. So it's good to see Coach Loadholt being recognized there by another guy who played in the NFL and Coach Haig. But, look, Coach Loadholt's going to be successful because of his work ethic. He's going to be successful because of his knowledge. He's going to be successful because of his hunger. This is his first offensive line coaching job, and your first job, bro, especially in your home state, it means something. So I'm super excited for Coach Loadholt, man. I think he's a great fit. I think he's a great motivator. I think he's a great recruiter. And I think it's important if you want to recruit the elite black athlete to have a guy in the room that looks like them and has done the job that they're trying to do. If you're trying to recruit a 6'8", 350-pound tackle, and he walks in and his coach is a 6'9", 350-pound tackle, that's pretty fucking easy. That's like ding, ding, ding. Where do we sign? So, it's just, it's almost like, Coach Prime looked at it and said, okay, instead of going old and established with Coach O'Boyle, I'm going to go young and hungry. And he went young and hungry, and that shit worked. So I think it's going to be a home run hire. And don't be surprised next year if they have to overpay Coach Loadholt or just pay him what he's worth. Let me say that again. Pay him what he's worth in order to keep him around, because he's going to get plucked right and left. People are going to be trying to steal a good offensive line coach.
Before we finish this topic, I want to give you Hageman's full comments here. Take a listen.
One thing I always pride myself on, I'm not a Hall of Famer. I'll never have a gold jacket, but here's the one thing that I do know that I did while I was in the league. The Hall of Famers that I played with, the Hall of Fame coaches that I was coached by, I did a very good job of just listening to them and applying it to my everyday life to the point where, I feel like in another life, I could do a lot of different things, but being a Hall of Fame mentor, a Hall of Fame leadership development director is my goal. So that's the one thing I try to do with all our guys. Doing what I'm doing right now isn't a job. It's just a life skill that I've been able to develop over 51 years on this earth. Phil was the first offensive lineman who made the most money in the NFL as a right tackle. Right? He set the standard for what right offensive tackles got paid in the NFL. I don't know another O-line coach who can relate to today's college player and be able to use his entire transition story from high school to JUCO, to college, to the NFL, and have the type of career that Phil can. I don't know many other college football coaches that can do that.
There you have it. Right. I mean, he talks about his place and the mentorship, and the same thing. I'm not a Hall of Famer. I was a very average NFL player, but the knowledge and everything that I went through and changed positions and everything that I know and all the relationships is why I'm good at my job now. Same thing Coach is saying, and he's dead on about Coach Loadholt. I mean, we just talked about that. So, I think Coach Loadholt has put himself in a very, very advantageous position, to say the least.